Hey, what's going on, guys? Norca Rifleman coming at you guys with another video. This video, I'll be doing like a show and tell, I guess you could say, of a new build that I recently put together. I'm really excited for this because I put a lot of time and effort into this build here, and I got big inspiration from the Special Forces workhorse, the M4A1 Block 2. In particular, the one without the front side post. I like that one as well, but I kind of prefer the one without the front side post. I got big inspiration from that weapon itself in particular. This is not a clone correct build, so kind of just so you know, I'm just disclosing that. But anyways, let's get down to the video. I'll show you guys the rifle here. So this is it, California compliant. I know, fin grip, end of the world, right? Wrong. One screw and that guy comes right off. So anyways, moving on. I will make sure the weapon is clear and safe to operate or handle. So magazine's empty, chamber is empty. It's good to go. This weapon is safe. Alright, so let me take off the sling because it's kind of in the way. I will come back to it later, but for the time being, I'll go ahead and remove it. So again, I got inspiration from the M4A1 Block 2. Obviously, you guys know that it's a, I believe, a Daniel defense gun, but for the price of what you pay for one of those guys, I could build something close to it and still have money left over for ammo, training, whatever. So decided to go this route, plus it's more personalized, honestly. And I didn't necessarily cheap out on some of the parts for this. Actually, I actually used pretty good quality parts. So I'll go over the stuff that I have in this, and hopefully if you find it interesting, and it might give you some motivation to put something together that you've been wanting to put together for the longest time. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start going over the parts that I used for this guy. And again, it's not super expensive parts, but they're not cheap either, in my opinion. So anyways, yeah, let's get to it, guys. I'll go ahead and go over all the parts that I have in this guy, and hopefully you find it helpful. So most importantly, for the lower, I decided to go with the BCM complete lower. This guy here comes with all the BCM enhanced internals, so comes with a nickel Teflon coated hammer and trigger and all the good stuff. So you can't go wrong there with the quality of BCM. It did not come with this furniture. It did come with separate furniture, but again, I had to swap it out because I wanted to use this B5 system stock here, and I wanted to keep it California compliant, so I threw this Strike Industries Mega Fin Grip in there. Originally, this lower came with separate furniture. It came with the Mark III grip, and didn't come with this stock on this rifle. It came with the BCM Gunfighter stock here. Pretty cool stock. I really like it a lot, but I might use this stock for that other gun I just showed. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but pretty good stock. Excuse me, getting over this cold still. So yeah, it came over the furniture, but I swapped it out for V5 system stock here. It is fixed in one position, it cannot collapse or, extend. So, that's a way to keep it California compliant. You can't have a collapsible stock. You cannot have a regular pistol grip, and you cannot have a forward vertical grip or a flash hider. So, yeah. But yeah, for the most part, BCM complete lower. It's pretty good quality, It comes with good internals, like I said, and you can't go wrong for the price. Well, I shouldn't really say that because it wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive either, you know, so it's definitely doable. I really love the trigger a lot. It is a mil-spec trigger, but let me tell you, man. So the sear and some other components in here are polished, so you know it's definitely more crisp, and there's not really a whole lot of take up in the trigger. I'm not sure. It's like, again, it is a mil-spec trigger, so it is probably like a 8-pound trigger pull or whatever. Can't think of the exact numbers, but it's really crisp, man. Let me show you guys how smooth that trigger is. Again, this weapon is safe. It's good to operate. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag. I'm good to go. So let's test out that trigger. There's not really any take up, man. Like, you put your finger in there, and the moment you start working it back, it just goes, you know. Again, it's really crisp. I really like it a lot. I know a lot of you are gonna say you shouldn't be dry firing this, but just a few won't hurt or whatever. So yeah, this is a really good trigger, man. I really dig it a lot. It's really crisp. The reset's good, and I'm happy with it, honestly. I think it's definitely a good trigger for sure. Good firing control, definitely. Originally, you know, I wanted to buy a BCM strip lower, but I could not find one anywhere. So, hey, you know, I decided to just get the complete lower at a local gun shop, and did not disappoint. The fit with the upper is really good. There's no wobble whatsoever, literally. No play. It fits really well, you know. And yeah, you know, I'm using a finger grip for this rifle because I didn't really want to mess with, you know, removing the castle nut that's already been properly staked on this guy really well from BCM, and, you know, throwing it back together, because as you know, here in California, you cannot have certain features on your rifle unless you have a fixed mag rifle, or yeah, you can't have certain things. So I figured, you know, for the removal of one screw, I think I'll just leave it if it ever came to it. And the stock, again, like I said, it has it's pinned to one position, but I'm using the Strike Industries stock stop, so I could remove this stock and remove that stock stop if I needed to, or if I wanted to switch this to a fixed mag. So yeah, it's no tools required, so you know, that's pretty cool. But yeah, anyways, you know, I think I've oh well, one more thing. This BCM lower did come with a FDE colored trigger guard, but I don't really like it, so I just threw in a BCM black one, you know, because it looks better in my opinion. Yeah, you know, BCM lower, nothing too fancy, you know, good quality, can't go wrong with it. The lower, it is a little bit, the magwell is a little bit flared, so, you know, it makes reloading a whole lot easier. So I'm not really finagling around with it too much, you know. But yeah, I think I might throw an ambidextrous and an ambi safety selector, because, you know, again, my thumb will be on this side, so I could, you know, quickly manipulate the safety if I need to. Well, I won't need to, you know, but rather than having to take my hand off the handguard here to actuate that safety, I could just do it with my right thumb with the ambidextrous safety. So yeah, you know, there's that. So moving on to the upper receiver, I am using an Aero Precision M4A1 upper. I did buy the upper assembled, meaning just with the dust cover installed and the forward assist. The cool thing about this upper is that it is forged, but it has like a billet look to it almost, right? So yeah, I really like the look of it. I think it looks really good. And yeah, another cool thing about it is that instead of having a roll pin over here for that forward assist, it comes with a set screw. So it makes installing and removing the forward assist a whole lot easier. Not that you would need to, but, you know, if you do end up, you know, buying a strip one, it's so much easier to install forward assist on something like this. So yeah, it's pretty good. It looks good and works well. And I really like the fit on to the lower on this setup here. It sits pretty well, you know. So yeah, pretty good upper. Yeah, so moving forward to the handguard here, I am using a Midwest Industries Combat T-Series handguard. This is a quad rail, obviously. The reason I went with this is because I was trying to get a rail, not necessarily a Dino Defense Wrist 2. I know that's clone correct, but you know, I didn't really want to spend kind of money on that rail, so I figured, you know, for the price of one rail, I could buy 2 solid rails. Maybe not as good, but good enough, you know. So I decided to go with Midwest Industries, and they did not disappoint. You know, they make really good stuff. This quad rail here is pretty rugged, and it looks really nice in my opinion. Pretty solid lockup here, you know, to the barrel nut. Excuse me. And yeah, I think it looks really good. Gives it that wrist to ish look, kind of, right? I don't know. I think it looks well. It looks good. It works well, you know. So for the time being, it'll serve its purpose for sure. So yeah, moving on to the barrel. The barrel, I went with a Roscoe Manufacturing M4 profile barrel, and I also used their gas block and gas tube. The reason why I did that is because you know, they make these gas tubes to work really well with their barrels, so you know, I figured it was a no-brainer. And Roscoe Manufacturing makes pretty good stuff, and I mean, I know a lot of people don't really give them the credit they deserve, but if you've seen some reviews on YouTube of some more, you know, experienced people in the gun world, like Grantham, he's made pretty good comments about him. So hey, you know, if it works for him, I think it'll work for the regular average Joe like you and me, you know. So yeah, pretty good barrel. It's a 1 7/7 twist, chromoly steel, 4150, 5.56. So you know, you could shoot 223 out of it, no issues there. It is not cold hammer forged, and it is not chrome lined. It's nitrided out and in, I believe. But again, you know, the material that it's made with works. It's really rugged, so you know, as long as you keep it clean, you shouldn't have any problems with it, you know. So yeah, again, the gas block, it's Roscoe Manufacturing, and so is the gas tube. It is a carbine length gas system, you know, just like the original M4A1 was. So a lot of guys were telling me to go with a mid length, but maybe for another build I might use a mid length. But for this build, I decided to go with a carbine because to me they work a little bit more reliable, and I don't know, I'm just a bigger fan of the carbine length gas system. But yeah, moving forward here, this is just BCM CAG hand stop. I believe it's called Kinesthetic angled grip. I believe Travis Haley has something to do with the production of this guy. I believe he helped with creating it, but I'm a big fan of it because it helps you get a pretty good purchase at the front of the handguard here with your support arm. So yeah, I think it works really well, and it definitely helps drive the gun back into your shoulder, especially using a fin grip, you know. You could just really drive it into your shoulder really well. So definitely helps stabilize the front. This is a little bit of a heavy weapon, but again, you know, if you can't lift a, I don't know, 8-pound gun, then there's a problem there. So yeah, moving on forward to the muzzle device. I know it looks like a birdcage flash hider, but it is not. It is actually a AIM Sports muzzle brake. So I know I'm flashing you guys with the muzzle here, but you know, shits and giggles, it's been cleared, whatever, you know. So it may look like a flash hider, but it is not. It's a muzzle brake. This muzzle device does not reduce or eliminate what's it called, a flash. It does reduce recoil though, which is what a muzzle brake is meant to do. So if you could see the front, a regular flash hider has a bigger opening, like this guy here. This is an original flash hider, right? So this one will reduce flash. This won't. So it's open just enough for the projectile to come out of there. And yeah, like I said, it won't reduce flash. So I'm good to use that here as a featureless, on a featureless rifle like this here. It's fairly inexpensive, I believe. I paid for about $12 for it on Optics Planet. But it works well. You know, I put some thread locker in the threads and use a cross washer and timed it correctly, so I think it'll work well. I don't really know about the finish on it, but again, you know, it's gonna get covered in gases, so I'm not really worried about it. Just wanted to keep that traditional look, you know, without actually using a flash hider, of course. So yeah, moving on to the weapon light. The weapon light is a Streamlight ProTac weapon light. I did spray painted it with some Rust-Oleum camouflage paint. I think it looks really good with this build here. And it's a really good working light, you know, for the money that you pay for it. It works really well. I don't think I was ready to spend $300 on a Surefire or anything, because for what I need it for, this will work just fine. So yeah, I just finished this build, so I started to figure something out with cable management here. So I might use some tape or something, you know, to keep the cable closer to the handguard so it doesn't snag on anything. But yeah, it comes with this pressure pad, so you could press and hold for constant on, or click it once for constant on, I mean. And it has strobe too, so you know, it works really well. I believe it's 400 lumens. Don't quote me, I don't remember the exact lumens, but it's fairly bright, you know, for what you're gonna need it for. It'll do its job. So the backup sights, I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of money on backup sights, so I just threw some Magpul flip-up sights on here. You know, they work really well. So yeah, you know, for what they do, they're worth the money. So yeah, it's not too bad. Excuse me. Again, stock is a B5 Systems salt mod stock. Big fan of it. Went with the Coyote brand for this guy. I really like the way it looks. So yeah, that's the stock that I'm using. For the bolt carrier, I went with a Toolcraft bolt carrier. It's a nitrided 4150. No, I think it's a Carpenter steel. You know, it is MPI tested, so it's made. The bolt's definitely made from pretty good high quality materials. You know, but I need to oil this takedown pin because it is a pain to pop out. But go ahead and work that out real quick. Yeah, this is Carpenter steel. Carpenter 158, I guess steel is what it's called. Again, it's MPI tested. The gas key is properly staked, and it's nitrided. The whole thing's nitrided, so it's it runs really smooth in the upper receiver. I was a little skeptical when I first got this because I purchased this on Palmetto State Armory. I believe it was $69.99, and you know, that for a bolt carrier, that's pretty cheap, right? But it's Toolcraft, so I decided to give it a shot, and I mean, it's good quality, so I think it'll work well. I know a lot of I believe Toolcraft made some bolt carriers for the military at some point. I'm not sure if that's true or not, but that's what I've heard. And from the looks of this guy, it's built well. In my opinion, it looks good. No rough edges or anything. So yeah, it is a full auto profile. So yeah, M16 bolt carrier. Excuse me, getting over this damn cold, man. Really good bolt carrier. I might eventually get a BCM bolt carrier, just because I kind of always wanted one. But for right now, this will do fine. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, well, the optic I didn't touch bases on, but it's just a Romeo 7. You know, it looks like an aim point. It works really well. But I'll do a separate video on that guy because I really like it a lot. So I think I'll do a video on the optic itself. So yeah, 6 Sauer Romeo 7 works really well. Looks good with this build. So almost like an aim point for half the price. Why not? But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I'm really excited for this rifle here. You know, just all the time and effort that I spent in gathering up the parts for this. It kind of makes you attached. It kind of makes you more attached to it, you know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm missing anything. Oh yeah, for the top, I'm just using a Magpul QD mount here. Just to give me more options for mounting a sling. And which reminds me, for the sling, I'm using a Baker's Tactical 2-point sling. Really like the sling a lot. You know, quick adjust, and I put 2 QD swivels on here to make it removing the sling from here a lot easier. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, charging handle. For the charging handle, I went with the BCM Gunfighter charging handle. I really like it a lot. I like that low profile of it and just how compact it is. And it works really well, better than a mil-spec charging handle, in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. You know, if you found this helpful, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. You know, if you're looking to build something like this, life's short, you know, so do it while you can. And yeah, again, you know, thanks for watching. There it is.